Happy May 8th. JLD here, and welcome to MSTR Today. And yes, it is a happy day because we are flirting with a $100,000 Bitcoin price. We'll see what the future holds, but it's great to see us at least having a little opportunity to flirt with 100K. We're going to talk today about strategy versus everybody, or at least compared to every other like-minded investment. We'll talk about MSTR, how it started, and how it's going. How Fong Li thinks there's over 700 Bitcoin treasuries that will be rocking this year, which is absolutely insane. We will be checking in with the 100K live viewing video from Bitcoin Magazine. I have multiple Michael Saylor video clips you're not going to want to miss. This video is not financial advice, but please do comment below. Let me know if you're excited about 100K. Just put 100K in the comment section. That's going to help us magnetize towards 100K. That's going to act like a magnet. All kidding aside, I would love to see that in the comment section below, or just comment for support, and let's dive on in. Okay, let's kick it off with an epic video. This is just from yesterday. Michael Saylor was asked by Professor B if there's one thing that he would want people to know about Bitcoin, what would it be? And I just wanted to start with this because this is our leader. This is the person that runs the strategy behind strategy. I mean, how can you not be excited about this? So, Michael, take it away.
Who are you and what are you doing here at Strategy World?
I'm Michael Saylor. I'm the chairman of Strategy, and I'm enjoying meeting all of our shareholders and all of our customers and all of the Bitcoin Treasury Company investors in the world.
Okay, amazing. What's one thing about Bitcoin you want everyone to know?
Bitcoin is the solution to your problems.
Bitcoin is the solution to our problems. So well said. Michael, thank you. And speaking of Michael Saylor, he wants us to make sure that we don't miss the Bitcoin train. And by the way, I'm on this train. My ticket is stamped and I'm not getting off because, my friends, it is time in the markets. It is time in Bitcoin. It is not about timing Bitcoin. Chris has a great post here. This is updated, his strategy versus alternative Bitcoin investment vehicles. If you're optimizing for ROI, there is no second best to MSTR, period, end of story. If you're optimizing for self-sovereignty, there's no second best to Bitcoin. And here's strategy versus all alternative Bitcoin investment vehicles. So you just look at MSTR, it hits all of these first number ones. The largest corporate holder, downside protection, financial leverage, generates yield, no fees, international gateway, deep liquidity. None have all of these to the right here. The ETFs, the futures, the miners, they have some, but not all. And then, of course, the downsides of MSTR, because there are downsides, is you can't trade it 24/7. There is counterparty risk. It's not seizure resistant, and it's not self-sovereignty. These are 4 negatives. But guess what? That's why Bitcoin is the 4 positives here. So that's why I have a very balanced Bitcoin holding and MSTR holding, because I love having both. I love having all of this, specifically the no counterparty risk and the seizure resistant and the self-sovereignty. I love these 3 things. I'm not a trader, so this isn't a big deal for me, but I love these 3. And then I love strategy because it gives me all of these things, specifically leveraged play on Bitcoin, intelligent leverage play on Bitcoin, which I am such a believer in. Now, Strategy Archive says, just a reminder, there is no second best. And this is from a slide from Michael Saylor's presentation yesterday about how Bitcoin is the best strategy. And there's not even close to a second best. I mean, there's not even within, 50%. I mean, 56% down to 23% for the Magnificent Seven. I mean, there is no second best. Long-term treasuries, ouch. Strategy Archive says, we started with a $250 million commitment and we persisted. And over time, we were able to raise $37.5 billion of capital, starting with a $250 million commitment. Clarity, conviction, courage, and commitments. And this is Michael Saylor's quote. And from $250 million commitments, they've raised to date $37.5 billion of capital. And look at where they are. Look at this charts. This is where they started in August. 0 Bitcoin. Now they have 555,000. Market cap, 1 billion. Now 108 billion. That's over 100x return. Enterprise value, same thing. 0.7 billion to 124 billion. Share price, $12 to $394. Trading volume, 5 million to almost 6 billion. That's insanity. This is called volatility, which is also the next one. But the volume helps with this volatility. And this makes this stock so interesting. Volatility 29%, now 110%. This is a massive distance in delta and difference. Open options 1 million to 96 billion. It's insane. This is actually the 1,033% increase. That's insanity. I absolutely love that. Tell me you publish garbage without telling me you publish garbage, says Strategy Archive. And this is all about a Barron's article about MicroStrategy completes a $21 billion offer to buy Bitcoin. The stock is dropping. I mean, it's so pathetic. It's honestly almost comical. Like I would love to meet these individuals who are literally publishing this thing, because honestly, they would look at us with sad eyes and they would say, we are forced to just print clickbait. We are forced to just print trash and potential lies, because that's the only way that people will read our absolute trash. That's what they'll say. I mean, there's just no other thing. There's nothing else to say. Chris says Strategy is a $100 billion company with the aura of a multi-trillion-dollar company. And man, do I agree with that statement. The Bitcoin Therapist says the CEO of Strategy, Fong Li, he believes the Bitcoin treasury companies will 10x in numbers. They're going to go from 70 to over 700 by next year. That is absolute insanity. Okay, this next post is from Stack. And you know when I post a Stack post that I get pretty excited about it, because back in February, I warned we were facing months of downward price action, and this is Stack. He said, a month ago, I told you a generational bottom was in at 75K. And right now, today, I'm telling you to strap the F in, because the bull is about to begin his run. You look at this timeline, this line right here. He basically posted that, hey, long term, I'm giga bullish, but medium term, I think there's going to be some downward pressure. And guess what? There was. And then he didn't time the bottom. Nobody really ever does. But he did on the way back up. He said, okay, I'm now getting kind of bullish and getting kind of excited. And then today, which is right here, he said, strap the F in. And by the way, I am strapped the F in. This is an absolutely epic video intro for MSTR True North. I just want to play this. It's a 1-minute video clip. So sit back and enjoy.
And some people run away from the fire, but Henry Ford put the fire into a carriage via an engine, created an entire industry, and he gave humanity wings.
MicroStrategy adding to its Bitcoin hoard. Nobody right now is rattling the cages of traditional Wall Street more than Michael Saylor.
We beat every single company in the S&P index.
MicroStrategy still buying Bitcoin amid the token's record run.
GameStop is considering investing in Bitcoin.
Bitcoin's been a wild run, and boy, have you been right. That's the brilliance of the engineering. Can a human being make something that other humans can't corrupt?
All right, if you're not going to get excited about that, I don't know what is happening with you. This next post is from Documenting Saylor. It's a great one, so strap in and just give it a listen.
Like a rational world is Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, Apple. They all buy Bitcoin with their cash flows. I mean, Apple would be worth an extra $1 trillion, right? If Apple basically started buying $20, $30 billion a year of Bitcoin, you know, they spend $500 billion on their stock. Where would Apple be if they bought $500 billion worth of Bitcoin right now? I mean, granted, it was over a 10-year time period, but if you look at that, right, how do you increase the market cap of Apple or Meta by $1 trillion? And the answer is you start to take your cash flows and your treasury, and then you buy a capital asset that's plus 40% a year instead of one that's minus 4% a year. And when that happens, you can see in our macro model, the equity market's going to look good, right? That's going to put a boost in the S&P and the NASDAQ and the Magnificent Seven. So it's not, you know, I guess my point is I don't want to be a doomer like Bitcoin good, everything else bad, because the truth is you could say Bitcoin good, equity bad, and bonds bad. But if I actually back the bonds with Bitcoin, and if I back the currency with Bitcoin, and if I back the equity with Bitcoin, then they're all going up, right? So it's like just Bitcoin better, and everything else is actually going to grow. And that's the argument for Bitcoin just makes the world a better place, right? It's the constructive, cheerful, progressive, grow out of your own problems with a good technology. vision, as opposed to, you know, this nation is going to melt down its currency and its banks are going to melt down, and we're all just going to jump on a lifeboat.
All right, Michael Saylor, thank you for that. And we have more Michael Saylor clips you don't want to miss when we get back from thanking our sponsors. Online shopping has never been easier, but this ease is new enough that we remember a time when entering all our credit card info every time we purchased something online was the norm. Luckily, we don't have to do that anymore thanks to Shopify. That's right, that purple Shop Pay button that makes it seamless to purchase online is powered by Shopify. And Shopify doesn't just make it easy to buy, it makes it incredibly easy to start a business no matter your experience. Shopify is the commerce platform behind 10% of all e-commerce in the US, and they make it super easy to get up and running with beautiful, ready-to-go templates and built-in marketing and email tools. Worried about tracking inventory, payments, and analytics? No stress. Shopify helps you manage it all from a single dashboard. And back to that iconic purple Shop Pay button, it's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/MSTR. Go to shopify.com/MSTR, shopify.com/MSTR. So check it out. I know we're all looking to stack more Bitcoin and MSTR, and to do that, we need more fiat. So let's chat about our sponsor, ShipStation. We all know the market can seem pretty chaotic at times, but if you're in charge of order fulfillment for your business, you already understand chaos. While we might not be able to help calm the chaos in the market, ShipStation is here to help when it comes to shipping and fulfillment. I've used ShipStation to easily automate shipping to customers around the globe. My favorite part about the platform, managing orders in one simple dashboard makes an otherwise massive task feel pretty darn simple. Plus, ShipStation not only integrates with the services and selling channels you already use, it's also the fastest, most affordable way to ship products to your customers. ShipStation hooks you up with discounts up to 88% off UPS, DHL Express, and USPS rates, and up to 90% off FedEx rates. Calm the chaos of order fulfillment with the shipping software that delivers. Switch to ShipStation today. Go to shipstation.com/MSTR to sign up for your free trial, or click the pinned comment below this video. That's shipstation.com/MSTR. And thank you for supporting our sponsors that allow myself and my team to continue to produce these daily videos for you for free. Now back to the show.
So a lot of our innovative capital markets activity, things like Strife, things like Strike, we had to fight through all sorts of complicated legal issues, complicated financial issues. We did a convertible preferred stock. It had never been done before. We listed on NASDAQ. It had never been done before. We attached a shelf registration to it. It had never been done before. We made it a perpetual dividend, good for 1,000 years. It had never been done before. We created a perpetual call option. It had never been done before. We put a shelf registration on it. Never been done before. Now, when you go to 25 professionals with 30 years experience, say, I want to do 20 things that have never been done before, and I want to do them in a hurry. I need an answer in the next 48 hours, right? That creates a very stressful situation. And what I found with AI is the AI doesn't have a lot of ego. I can ask it a question. I can tell it that's not right. I can tell it that's stupid. I can disagree. I can work through my issues. And then after I've gone through 20 iterations, which would have ground human beings into a pulp, I can then take the 95% answer to the finance team and the legal team and the bankers and the market and say, I think this is plausible. And I don't just share the result. I share the link. I say, go into the chat. I've uploaded 27 documents. I've actually had to grind through case law of every public company that's ever done this before. I've analyzed the finance. I think it's more likely than not this will work. And at that point, when you've taken the process to 95%, you can then get to a result and build consensus. And half of AI is about consensus and doing it in a cheerful, constructive way, right? When I'm yelling, I prefer to yell at the AI. right? I really want to do this. No, you can't. Well, what if I do this? No. Well, and eventually you get to a point where maybe you can move forward. And I can say, with a high degree of confidence, right? A lot of the things we've done in the capital markets, we just couldn't have done that. Those two preferred stocks, Strife and Strife, are the first AI designed securities that I know of, certainly in our industry. You ever try to carry a gold bar through an airport?
Very heavy.
Try it next time. They won't let you through, right? In fact, if you tried to carry $100,000 of gold through an airport, not only would you not get through, but the assumption would be you're a criminal, you stole the gold, and they would just take it and keep it without a court order. Now, try to carry $100,000 of cash through the airport. You ever try that? You can put it in a bag, and as you're walking through the x-ray machine, just nonchalantly say to the officer, yeah, I'm carrying $100,000 of money onto the airplane. You won't get through. Now, not only will you not get through, they'll just take your money. They'll just take it, and the assumption will be you stole it, okay? So cash is a unit of control. Now, put $100,000 in a bank and try to wire it to someone, or just take it out and they're going to ask you why. Tell them it's none of their business. Try to send it to someone privately, to a numbered Swiss bank account, right? See how that works. That won't work. That's a system of control. Bitcoin is the one network you can't control. Nobody can control Bitcoin. So if you're insecure about being able to own your own money, do you own it? And can you actually use it without asking somebody's permission? Then the solution is not gold. It's not silver coins. It's not stacks of cash. It's not money in a bank in the US. It's certainly not money in a bank in Lebanon, Argentina, anywhere in Africa. The one network that you have that gives you a decent chance of owning your own money and then being able to spend it the way you want is Bitcoin.
Thank you, Michael Saylor, for that. And here is the live Bitcoin 100K watch party. Bitcoin Magazine's putting this on. We were so close, just kept getting rejected right at the cusp. And then, of course, had a little downturn. So now we're at 99,436 at the time that I'm recording this. Hopefully, it's closer to 100K when you're watching this, over, or at least somewhere still in the 99s. But I will say this, if you post in the comment section 100K, 100K, it will be like a magnet to bring it there. And if it's already there, it'll be like a floor to keep it there. So I want to see those 100Ks in my comments. Let's go. And now let's keep rolling with the show. And there you have it. Another episode of MSTR Today. I hope you enjoyed the episode today. And here's my receipt from yesterday's purchase. I bought a 0.539 share of MSTR at $391. That was my daily $210 purchase of MSTR every trading day of 2025. I'll be revealing my entire portfolio this coming Sunday, just like I did last week as well. And I'll be doing that every week, just a full reveal. So tune in for those Sunday reveals. Listen, the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt, it feels like it's going away a little bit because of what's happening in the world. But that's why we need to even stay stronger than ever, because we can't lose focus. This is the time. We don't want to get shaken out with a sudden move downwards, because in my opinion, any of those would just be fake outs for what's coming in the remainder of 2025, because I believe it's inevitable. This is the path that we're on. Big shout out to everybody who's been taking advantage of the 25% off the inevitable swag, which is right below this video. If you check it out, there's a 25% off deal for all inevitable swag, actually. So thank you in advance for supporting the channel and rocking a little inevitableness in your life, because like Michael Saylor says, which I totally believe, there is no second best.
What's the second best? There is no second best.